Hello, can I just have like 1 minute of your time? I just want to tell you that I love you and I appreciate you. To every new subscriber and to everyone who has subscribed before now, you are loved. Let's do this together. This is about environment. This is about climate action. This is about saving the planet Earth and doing the things we need to do right. Yeah, it's still Ify and standing on the development report. We're having we have weekly programs on People's 105.5 FM every Saturdays. And so I need to upload it here to get to people who are not in the traction of the state of the FCT. So do well to engage and let's have feedback from you. You are wonderful and thank you for joining. You can also share the link with your loved ones. You can share so we can have more subscribers on the YouTube channel. Thank you.
The People's 105.5 FM brings to you the Development Report. Development Report dissects current development issues, sustainable development goals, climate change, women and health, water environment, human progress, and societal well-being with experts from different fields. Development Report showcases impactful projects and initiatives aimed at fostering positive change. Development Report comes to you on the People's 105.5 FM Abuja every Saturday from 12:15 p.m. to 1 p.m. You can also join the program via telephone 0911 222 1055 or send us a WhatsApp message on 0911 112 1055. Development Report towards collective action in support of sustainable development. People's 105.5 FM. It's all about you.
In the story of progress, every chapter of development adds depth, richness, and meaning to our collective narrative, from the smallest steps to the grandest strides. Every act of development paves the way for a brighter tomorrow. Welcome to the Development Report on People's 105.5 FM, where we talk about pressing issues surrounding sustainable development. I'm all about everything development, from women's empowerment to children's rights to climate change, water resources, food waste, waste management, and more. I am Ify Onyekwere, and together we'll be coming close to our common good as a nation as we look into open defecation, impact on ecosystems, and sustainable development. I will not be doing this alone because I have in the studio an amazing guest, Chika Ogamba, a sustainable development advocate, who is also going to be doing this with me, and we're going to be discussing together secure cycle, environmental and climate. She's also she's doing great with secure cycle, environmental and climate change initiative. We're going to be discussing the topic open defecation, impact on ecosystems and sustainable development. And you can also join the conversation on social media. We're at People's 105.5 FM. On telephone, you can send in your calls when the discussion begins on 0911 222 1055, and on WhatsApp you can reach us on 0911 112 1055, and on Twitter I am TDev Reports.
We inform, we educate, we entertain. We are the People's 105.5 FM, Abuja.
Yeah, man.
People's 105.5 FM. It's all about you.
Straight up, we'll be taking the development news stories shortly, and after that, we'll engage in more content for the show today. Headlines: UN Resident Coordinator urges accelerated efforts to achieve SDGs. Heatwave claims 21 lives in Beni Mellal, Morocco. UN issues call to action on extreme heat and rising global temperatures. The United Nations Resident and Humanitarian Coordinator in Nigeria, Mohammed Malik Fall, has intensified advocacy efforts at the subnational level to accelerate progress towards achieving the SDGs by 2030. On July 17, 2024, Fall concluded a one-week working visit to Lagos, Enugu, and Anambra states. During his visit, he engaged with governors, commissioners, private sector leaders, civil society organizations, traditional rulers, women and youth groups, and other stakeholders to advocate for acceleration of the SDGs to improve the well-being of people and the planet. Report says at least 21 people have died in Beni Mellal, Morocco within 24 hours due to a severe heat wave. According to Morocco's Ministry of Health, the rising temperatures reached 48 degrees Celsius in some areas, which significantly impacted the elderly and those with chronic illnesses. Report says the heat wave affected much area of the country from Monday to Wednesday, with Beni Mellal experiencing temperatures of 43 degrees on Thursday. Temperatures are expected to drop in the coming days, providing relief to affected regions. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres on Thursday has issued a call to action on extreme heat, emphasizing the need to care for vulnerable populations, protect workers, enhance resilience with data and science, and limit global temperature as it increases from 1.5 degrees Celsius. This comes in response to the severe impact of rising temperatures worldwide, which have led to numerous heat-related deaths and illnesses and have placed immense strain on global health systems. Heat stress is now recognized as the leading cause of weather-related deaths, with an estimated rate of 489,000 heat-related fatalities occurring annually between year 2000 and 2019. Dr. Maria Nera, Director of the Department of Environment, Climate Change and Health at the World Health Organization, highlighted that extreme heat worsens existing health conditions and affects mental health, causing confusion, anxiety, and even violence, among other health challenges. And that's it on the news segment. Keep it locked right here for more engaging content. I am Ify Onyekwere, as we'll come back for more content.
University Nigeria is a private leading university established in the year 2023 and approved by the National Universities Commission. Hensard University focuses on bridging the gap between academic certification, skills development, and practical industrial application. Hensard University, your gateway to the future, also emphasizes entrepreneurship education and holistic approach for character formation, leadership development, and solid spiritual foundation. We have a state-of-the-art library for convenient studies. Hensard University is located at Sagama Local Government Area in Bayelsa State. Hensard University has the following faculties: Faculty of Agriculture, Faculty of Science and Computing, Faculty of Environmental Sciences, Faculty of Mass Communication, Faculty of Arts, Social and Management Sciences. Hensard University is built on integrity and honor, courage and conviction, love and compassion towards all. Come to Hensard University today and unlock your potentials. For inquiries, please call 0916 998 5150 or 0916 998 5153. Email is registrar@hensarduniversity.edu.ng. Website is www.hensarduniversity.edu.ng. Hensard University, service to man is service to God.
All right, we are still listening to the development report on People's 105.5 FM, and I am Ify Onyekwere. And looking at data, let's look at some data surrounding open defecation, and then we'll start the interview with our guest. And I believe that you have some questions to ask about open defecation and some of its impact on our environment and the ecosystem at large. Okay, so globally, there's an estimate of 673 million people that still practice open defecation, and this has significantly affected public health and the environment. Looking down to Africa, open defecation is a critical issue because countries like Ethiopia, it's still a critical issue, but countries like Ethiopia and Ghana are making strides through programs like One Wash National Program and community-led total sanitation. Now, bringing it down to Nigeria, this report says that 25% of the population still practice open defecation, and this is not only affecting human health, it also degrades our water sources, and reduce the availability of clean water. And so we want to know the intensity of this. That's the reason why, in the light of this, we're discussing the topic open defecation impacts on ecosystems and sustainable development. And we have in the studio Chika Ogamba, a sustainable development advocate. Hi Chika, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
I was asking you how you came into the environment space. Like, I'm sure someone out there might be at that point where I think I love everything that has to do with environment. So where do I start? Can you just give us like a background of how you got into the environment space? You might actually inspire someone listening to us right now.
Well, we'll start from when I was in school. Back then when I was in school, I picked interest on the SDG goals. So I started by volunteering with organizations that are into SDGs. So I volunteered with them, even doing service here. That was how it all started.
Amazing. Volunteering, and now that's taking you this far and you're still going there. That's amazing. All right. You can join the conversation as we discuss open defecation impact on ecosystems and sustainable development. Probably you are in an environment where you've seen people misuse things in the society, or you've seen people, practicing open defecation, and somehow it's not right, but you don't know what the implication of this is, or you've seen it on the internet, you've seen happenings about this, you've seen write-ups about this, but then you don't know what the impact is. That's what we're going to be discussing today. And feel free to join the conversation. You can send in your messages on WhatsApp via telephone. You can reach me on WhatsApp, because I'm going to be reading your messages when you send your messages on 0911 112 1055. And you can also call in on 0911 222 1055. And on Twitter, I am TDEV Report, TDev Report. All right, to our guests, can you please explain to us in simple terms, like, what is open defecation? Like, what does it entail? So we know the limits, or what exactly it is as.
Well, I would love to explain or define open defecation as the defecation of feces in field, bushes, and open spaces. It's an awful defecation.
Thank you. I think I like that word. It's an awful defecation. Okay, so people who engage in this now might not really know what the impact is. Can you please tell us how this impacts us as a society? Or let me streamline it to how it impacts water bodies and aquatic life in general.
Coming to water bodies, we point at contamination. That's the key word there, because these spread pathogens, which are organisms that distribute diseases like virus and parasites. With open defecation, water bodies become polluted. That is making it unsafe for both domestic use and public use. So this impact as on aquatic life cannot be overemphasized. As we human consumes the fishes and the water bodies, and with open defecation, these fishes also transfer the bacteria to human too. Okay. So I want everyone listening to actually get the full picture. So someone who practices open defecation, for instance, in a field, let's say 2 streets away from here, and then I have a water tank here where people come to get water and all like that. Would we say that what the person practicing 2 streets away would affect me here? Would the practice of open defecation in that place, does it have any significance to me living like 2 streets away, 3 streets away or something? So these are pollutions.
Okay.
See, pollution cannot be curtailed to a geographical area. It has a way of spreading. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so Now, talking about the we mentioned about the water bodies at large, like the aqua life and all like that. Yeah. So, what can you break down the implications of this? Because I know people go to the beaches, like in Lagos. I'm not sure there's a beach in Abuja. Is there? I've not seen.
Except that of Jabi Lake. It's a lake, actually.
Okay,
not
it's a lake.
beach,
Okay, yeah, but I know people go to the beaches in Lagos. You could just go there for recreation purposes and all like that. So people who do this, because looking at the reason why I'm using Lagos as an example, on the island, I don't know if you're familiar with Lagos.
I'm not too familiar with Lagos. Yeah.
Okay, but you see people probably on the island, you see them, defecate in the open water, like big bodies of water like that. Okay, let's even bring it down to this place, because the fact that I've not seen it does not mean that it might not really be happening. Because if someone can go to a big body of water and say, okay, I want to defecate in a big body of water, there's a tendency that it could actually be, happening in, probably a lake or a small body of water too. Yeah. So what is the implication of this to people who go there ignorantly? They don't know that this is what's going on here, but they go there it might not be water for them to drink per se, because I'm not sure people still drink, well, except rural places, but I'm not sure someone can go to a lake and just take the water without boiling right now, except very rural areas, right? But what implications do this have to people who access those kind of waters, either to wash, either to, I have a business and I need to clean, the tables or something? Would this can you please explain the impacts, like what it is to those who would actually eventually have access to these waters?
Well, I would say regarding the beach, you see, when the beach is being polluted,
okay,
when you visit the beach, you have contact with the water. Mm-hmm. Either by chance you can have a taste of it. You understand?
Okay.
It will get into your mouth. From there, you can contaminate. You can contaminate any virus that comes with the defecation, the open defecation.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay, looking at, we're still talking about open defecation, and fortunately we've been discussing plastic pollution in this program, and would we say there is a link for open defecation and the overall problem of plastic pollution? Do you think there is a link between open defecation and plastic pollution in our communities?
Yes, there's a link.
Okay.
Because I've seen people go to bushes, open spaces to excrete, and they go along with plastic bottles to clean up themselves after excreting. So these have a way of putting the bottles in inaccessible areas, so thereby making the plastic pollution outrageous.
Amazing. I never even thought about that, because we've been talking about plastic waste actually for a while, and but as I was thinking about this whole thing, I was just meditating, would there be a link between open defecation and plastic pollution? So people take this and then go to places where, that's amazing, but there could be other options, right?
Yeah,
because let it not look as though we're discussing from people who are in the urban sector, in the urban areas, and we're leaving out those who are probably in the rural places, so there are other options, right? We have other options where people could. Why are you smiling? Because I feel like definitely, I feel like there could be other options instead of just taking this plastic waste and then keeping it in places where people cannot see, or even those who recycle them are not able to use them to make something else, right? Because I've had a guest in this on this show who actually turns plastic waste into beautiful earrings, beautiful other things that aside from jewelries, right? So I feel like people like her who go up and down, to pick waste and all like that, you might not even think that, down that bush there is, right?
Yeah.
So okay, I never thought about that. All right, so let's look at local let's look at the ecosystem health, right? What does how does it affect the ecosystem health and biodiversity? how does open defecation affect the ecosystem health? Could you please explain?
I would say it affects the ecosystem health through the spread of diseases and the migrant of animals towards a certain direction. People defecating also disturb the habitat of animals and cause them to often go far into the wild due to the human disturbance.
Really?
Yeah.
I need you to break down, honestly, because I'm just hearing this, like, this is the first time I'm trying to process what you just said now. So someone defecating in point A would disturb activities of animals
in point B.
Please explain to us.
Some animals have a way of behaving like we humans sometimes. There are some animals that don't really love dirty space. Thereby, it has a way of pushing them to a certain direction far from where they are supposed to be originally.
Animals like what?
Like cats.
Okay, so they actually go towards this area, or they go away from this?
They go away from the area where you have open defecation.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
Also, anyone who has probably in your community you have lots of cats and all like that, it shows that
it's not hygiene for them to live around there.
Amazing. Yeah. So my environment is clean. That's what it means. No, I'm really happy to hear this. All right. So if you're listening to us, this is the development report, and we're discussing open defecation impact on ecosystems and sustainable development. Truthfully, this actually affects everyone. When it comes to sustainable development, you might just look at it and say, oh, like the guest I had last week, there was something he said. He said he's met someone who said climate change does not concern people who live in some countries. It's only meant for people in some other countries. But part of the news I read this afternoon, is showing or is telling that 21 people actually died, from intense heat wave because of I think they were 21. Yes, 21 people. It was in Morocco this happened, and they died from severe heat wave in 24 hours. This is part of the issues we're talking about. So when it comes to things that affect our environment, we need to be very intentional about everything that has to do with our environment, right? So everyone needs to be very concerned. Everyone needs to be involved about what is really going on in the environment. It concerns you. It concerns me. When it comes to the environment, don't just feel like, oh, this is not your thing. It's your thing. And so you can join the conversation. In your area right now, do we have people who are messing up the society? Does it affect you? Even the awful smell alone, it's very disturbing, right? And what have you noticed when this, it's happening? Someone reached out to me from Adamawa State the other day, and she says, I think she saw one of the posts online, and then she says she doesn't know why, but there have just been so much fly. Even when rain is, I don't know why I said I was going to, really get to. I was really interested in that course because I know it's during dry seasons. You have lots of flies around and all, but it's raining and then you have flies everywhere. She even said she was going to send me the video. She's not done that yet, but she's going to, send that. So you can join the conversation, and we'll go on this short music break. When we come back, we'll continue with the discussion. It's still the development report, and we're discussing open defecation impact on ecosystems and sustainable development. Before we continue with the session of today, I want to take a breaking news. Senator Ify Onyekwere is dead. The senator representing Anambra South in the National Assembly, Ify Onyekwere, was said to have died in a hotel room in London, the United Kingdom, on Saturday. He would have been 53 on September 3. The senator's spokesperson, Yemi Adaramodu, confirmed Uba's death confirmed Uba's death earlier today. Uba, who was re-elected into the 10th Senate under the Young People's Party, had last year defected to the All Progressive Congress. In September 2022, Uba escaped assassination, which when he was attacked by gunmen on his way to Nnewi in Enugu in Anambra State. His convoy was shot at, and at least 5 people died, including 2 policemen. He survived as the vehicle was riding in was bulletproof, but news confirms that he is dead. All right, we're still on the development report, and we're discussing open defecation impact on ecosystem and sustainable development. We have Chika Ogamba, a sustainable development advocate, in the studio, and we've been discussing about some of the impacts of open defecation on the ecosystem. You can join the conversation on WhatsApp, where you can reach us on 0911 112 1055. I take that again. You can reach us on WhatsApp on 0911 112 1055, and on telephone you can call on 0911 222 1055. I take that again, 0911 222 1055. All right, Chika, could you please let's even bring this down to tourism, right?
Yeah.
I envisage a Nigeria where people, come in. No, aside the security issues, probably we're going to get there one day where security is no longer going to be an issue, right?
We're getting there.
Yeah. So, can you share specific examples of how tourism, has been impacted by open defecation in certain areas, especially in Nigeria here?
Can we look at tourism in itself?
Okay.
You see, one of the points of attraction is when you have a safe and clean environment for people to actually visit. You see, let's look at beaches, for example. At a point, the beaches were heavily polluted, and this made people to stop visiting the beach, which affected the economic development of some companies in that sector. So if we have a clean space for people to come, I think it's go a long way in affecting our economy.
Okay, so when we actually do this, because I think I've visited one of the hills here in Abuja, I wouldn't say it was so dirty, but imagine if there were lots of pollution there. There's no way
I want to go there again.
Exactly. Yeah. So while we're actually doing this, because I feel like sometimes we need recess. We need to, just take a break. We need to
just go out, enjoy the space,
the atmosphere and all that. Trust me, I think I don't know. People say you still have faith in Nigeria, but somehow I feel like Nigeria is actually a very beautiful country.
Yeah. We've had people from all over the country come to Nigeria just to stare at our environment.
Amazing. And I think it was 2023, last year, yes. I visited one of a tourist site in Kogi State. It's actually, according to what I was
told. Kogi State?
I'm not so familiar with Kogi State, but it's called Transatlantic Center or so, like that.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that. It's actually schooled in Kogi State. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, it's actually very big. Okay, it's close to Okene. I think I was able to access the place from Okene.
Okay.
Yes. So it's actually a very big space, lots of activities, and just a tourist. I really, I think one of the days I should bring the person who, the person who did that here on this show, because for someone to think about, opening a tourist site independently, the person must really be vast and, understands what's, the impacts on the ecosystem and even the environment. So I think if you're listening to us, what we've been able to establish with this is, like you just told us now, open defecation actually ruin the chances of having good places to actually rest. Just imagine, even just down here, Jabi Lake, people would not be there. Exactly. If it's
having open defecation all over the place.
Amazing. All right. Okay, so looking at environmental sustainability, how does open defecation influence, the SDG goals relating to, because I know most of these SDG goals, last week we looked at the implication of the data that was actually released to us, and some of it were not. In fact, a bulk of it was not really good to hear. So, like, how does this impact the SDG, especially with the fact that we have how many years to go? We are supposed to meet up, we need to cover up a whole lot of
17 goals, yeah.
I'm telling you, just for 2030, right? So how does this impact our involvement in environmental sustainability, bearing in mind the SDG goals?
Well, at Secure Cycle of we focus on goal 6 also.
Okay.
The SDG goals that covers for open defecation, we can look at goal 6, which is water, sanitization, and hygiene. And this goal was established to ensure that everyone has access to quality drinking water and sanitization facilities. And this will help to curb the open defecation in every country across the globe. So that's why we go as much as ensuring that people have this knowledge of do not open defecate. Do not use the open space. That's why we have provision for toilets at bus stops and other stop areas where people have access to.
Nice. Okay. That's that about environmental sustainability, right? Okay, so one of the things that impacts all of us generally now is food. Whether you like food or not, you will still eat food. This one concerns everybody, right? And I somewhat believe that there is a link between open defecation and food security in some affected regions, right?
Well,
okay.
Well, I wouldn't say it is linked directly.
Okay.
But then, the food security, but the outbreak of diseases such as cholera, and if a farmer is sick, the farmer won't be able to farm. He won't be able to go to farm, and which we in return caused short in food supply of farm products.
Wow. So this is actually. See, we're actually saying it this way, and it looks like it's minute, but it's really a very big deal. It's really a very big deal because if the farmers are getting sick, who will provide this food?
It becomes difficult for them to go to farm.
All of us are complaining. I think it was during there's this festive period that just passed where everyone was complaining the price of. It's not even everyone, even me. I went to the market to get pepper, and I could not believe what I actually saw. Like, you just get few pieces, and I'm like, if this is happening in the north, what exactly would be happening? And people had to even go for alternatives. Imagine using cucumber to cook stew.
Yes.
Right? Imagine using carrots to actually cook stew. Things like so. These things actually impact us directly. We see it as though it's nothing. We see it as though it's just there, right? But if the people who are going to the farms, people who are really taking out their time, their energy, everything that they have to actually plant this food, because whether we like it or not, this food do not just come from the air. They are being planted by people, and they need good soil. There was a guest on this show who enlightened us on this show some time back. She said untreated feces is not manure. Actually, so because people actually feel like I'm helping the soil. You go to some rural areas and you ask people, you do a survey. Why are you actually using? It's not like there are no toilets. Sometimes they even have pits, but people choose to just contaminate and they say, oh, it's helping the plants grow. But then she told us, she said, no, open feces is not healthy.
It's not a manure,
right? But a lot of people don't know this, and they keep doing it thinking like, oh, I'm helping the soil, right? So it's we are at the receiving end, and if we don't talk, if we don't enlighten people, we're doing our own part here in People's FM. There are people out there in your communities. There are people out there on the streets. There are people out there, even in people's farm. The audacity. actually. You see people have farms and then people just encroach into their farms. Oh, let me just go and pull there. And if I pull there, I'm helping the people. You are not helping the people. So the next time you see someone encroach into someone's farm and then trying to pollute that space, enlighten that person. Untreated feces is not manure, right? It is not in any way. And we're already okay with the issues we have about food security right now in Nigeria. We are praying for progress. We are hoping that more people go into farming and agriculture. When I say this, some people look at me and be like, who are the people? Well, I'm actually very interested. I've brought in someone who is in the agri space, and then that enlightenment is actually very it's a whole lot. People feel like, oh, agri business is meant for some people. Please, if I get a space for farming, I would gladly do it. It's something that everyone should actually, look into. Okay, so back to the questions. Someone is asking here, what role do education and awareness campaign play in behaviors to open defecation? Okay, what role do education and campaign, NGO campaigns, right, CSOs, and all, what role do they play?
Well, there's a saying that when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable.
Yeah.
So it plays a key role in curbing the challenges, because when people do not know about the negative effect of a thing, they may not be ready to change their behavior. So that's why we go as much as sensitizing people, letting them know that this is the right way to do things. Do not open defecate. So I think that campaign has actually helped a lot.
Okay, but looking at the gap of people who are still left out, would you? I'm the one asking this. Would you feel like it's not really, they're not really getting? I feel like this has to do something about behavioral change. Yeah, like they're not really getting they just feel like, oh, you're trying to do your, because it will amaze you. You're going out to sensitize the people to say, oh, I don't want you to do not defecate anymore. We've provided toilets and all like that. But this set of people, some of this set of people who still go to do these things, what do you think the problem is? Would you attribute it to culture? Would you attribute it to environment? Would you attribute it to lack of proper education? Is it something that we could even imbibe our language to our local languages to make people, understand the impact of this? Because we're taking this, like when I saw the news that people, imagine people, probably because it didn't happen in Nigeria, 21 people died because of intense heat. Can you, this would have, I'm not sure this kind of news would have heard it like some years back. So I think this climate action is something that people should really be taking very seriously right now, because NGOs and organizations have been doing the things they could do. So why are people still practicing this? What's going on?
I think I will attribute it to government policy.
Okay.
If we have a policy that will penalize those that don't go according to the policy, it will have a way of curtailing the open defecation issue we're having. Because you've seen a place where they write boldly, do not urinate here. That place have the most, in fact, they dwell there. Have you observed that?
Yeah. Honestly, it's really so pathetic. I must tell you, like I was saying last week, thank you very much, Chika. Like I was saying last week, I feel like we have lots of policies, but I think the way to make it make sense to the ordinary person on the streets, that's the most important thing right now. While we understand that policies are very good and great, but the way to communicate this to even a 5-year-old to understand the impact of what this does to us as a people is very important. All right, we have to call it a wrap here. Let's take a moment to appreciate every community champion who is really doing well as regards sustainable development. Thank you so much to our esteemed guests, everyone who listened, and to our Thank you very much, esteemed guests, Chika Ogamba. Very great to have you in the studio. And to everyone who listened, thank you so much for joining the Development Report this week. And to my amazing producer in the house, Mr. Akpan, thank you so much. And the executive producer, Charles Kalu, thank you so much. A heartfelt thank you to everyone for being a part of this program. Join us same time next week for another captivating episode of the Development Report, where we'll continue our journey towards a brighter and more sustainable future. Here's a quote to think upon. Sustainable development is the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. I am Ify Onyekwere. Do have a wonderful weekend as we meet to discuss development issues same time next week. Bye.